Have you ever wanted to look cool in front of your coworkers or your loved ones? But what are your skills? Maybe you're a world-renowned pianist. I said pianist, not peanut. Or perhaps you could try your luck at becoming an Olympic athlete. No, that's far too difficult. Luckily, we have the solution for you. Improving your typing speed is a practical and productive way to increase your productivity and sex appeal. In this video, we're going to be exploring the tale of an average man increasing his typing speed by 50% in just 30 days. By following his simple and effective techniques, you can make improvements not just to your typing speed, but to anything in your life. Let's get started. Firstly, why did I decide to test my typing speed for 30 days? I just finished a book by James Clear called Atomic Habits. One of the biggest takeaways for me was the fact that just like money, the habits that you choose to do on a daily basis compound. What that means is after you do something for a long enough time, the results start to stack and multiply on top of each other. There's an incredibly powerful graphic that shows the impact of a 1% increase over a 1-year time frame. The person who improves just 1% per day will be 38 times better than they were at the beginning. This is in contrast to the opposite, in which your skill will have deteriorated to almost zero. This is a really cool theory, but I wanted to see if it would actually help me in my everyday life. Shortly after, I found a video by Ali Abdal. It was a video of him hitting 150 words per minute typing. I thought that this would be the perfect way to measure my progress over time, since words per minute of typing is something that's easy to track. For reference, when I was a kid, I used to two-finger type while playing RuneScape. Yes, I was a nerd back then, and I still identify as a nerd to this day. My typing speed when I started was 56 words per minute. For the challenge, I would try and do between 3 and 10 typing tests per day. The master plan. In the book, James talks about 4 key things that you need to do in order to make a habit stick. The 4 things are make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. In this video, I'm going to be exploring all 4 and how I applied them to my challenge of increasing my typing speed. Although I'm doing this for my typing test, all of these methods are applicable to any type of habit that you want to establish in your life. Number 1, make it obvious. This is the critical first step in making a habit stick. There are a number of different ways to actually make it obvious. Habit stacking is a strategy that you can use to pair a new habit with a current habit. The habit stacking formula is after blank, which is your current habit, I will new habit. To try and implement this rule, I would go to the cupboard and grab a mug from the pantry and put it right beside my desk. When I got up in the morning, I would see the mug and be reminded that, oh, hey, I need to go and do my typing test for the day. Another really interesting piece from the book was that people who have the best self-control often need to use it the least. The reason for this is because they build their environment in a way that temptation doesn't come up as often. So yes, perseverance, grit, determination, all of these things that we look upon positively are important when you actually want to set a habit. But why not instead just build an environment that makes it easier for you to actually accomplish this? Number 2, make it attractive. What is it that actually motivates people to do things? The answer? Desire. It's the anticipation of the reward, not the reward itself, that actually give us that shot of dopamine that we're all looking for. Whenever I sat down to take the test, my heart rate would spike and I would go into sport mode. It was the exact same feeling that I get whenever I get into a competitive game of some sort. I personally love this feeling of getting ready for a competition, and this was something that additionally pushed me to stick with this habit. Another tip I used was that knowing desire is the difference between where you are now and where you want to be. I knew that I wanted to become a faster typist, and I arbitrarily set a goal of hitting 100 words per minute. This goal made it an attractive thing for me to do, as I wanted to be known as someone who could type faster, and just for my personal self. Number 3, make it easy. Perfection is the enemy of good enough. One thing that I am quite guilty of is being a perfectionist. Now, when you're a perfectionist, everything has to be perfect. This often leads to a lot of procrastination. I'll see an expert in a field and want to be able to be as good as them immediately. I spend all of my time planning on how I can do this and how I can do that to be just as good as this individual instead of actually practicing the skill. A great quote from the book was that the most effective form of studying is practicing. This leads me into my next point, which is that humans tend to follow the path of least resistance. We naturally gravitate towards the option that has the least amount of work. When you spend all of your time, like I do, planning for something, you never actually get the opportunity to make the mistakes that you need to in order to begin learning. James suggests that you should do no more than 2 minutes of this habit per day to start building it. But in my case, being a bit of a rebel, I chose 3. The important thing is that in order to improve upon a habit, you first need to establish it. Another way to make it easier for yourself to commit to this habit is to tie the habit to your identity rather than the goal that you're trying to reach. I mentioned that at the beginning I was trying to hit 100 words per minute. While there's nothing wrong with setting a lofty goal for yourself, it can be really disheartening when you're not making the progress you want to. Instead, I changed my point of view from not being able to hit 100 words per minute, but instead trying to be someone who shows up every day for 3 typing tests. The results are the byproduct of sticking to these habits for the long term. I worked to become someone who didn't miss a day of typing, instead of becoming someone who hits 100 words per minute. I was taking the smallest action I possibly could to reaffirm what I wanted to become, which was a lightning fast typist. Number 4, make it satisfying. The first thing that I did in preparation of this challenge was to make a tracking sheet. In the book, James states that making progress is satisfying, and visual measures like moving paper clips or hairpins or marbles provide clear evidence of your progress. As a result, they reinforce your behavior and add a little immediate satisfaction to any activity. In my case, I was tracking the results that I got on a daily basis into my spreadsheet. The ability to track my progress over these 30 days was a huge motivator, as I could slowly see my word per minute going up. This tracking sheet was perfect for me, but if your habit doesn't fit into this bucket of numerical values, there are many different ways that you can make something satisfying. Another way I made it satisfying was having my tea. I would complete the task that I was supposed to do, and then I would take a nice big drink of my Earl Grey tea. That first sip was so sweet because I knew that I had already completed something for the day. I was being rewarded for showing up, not for becoming the world's fastest typist. Changing my mindset during this challenge to focus on the action rather than the outcome is something that's spilled over into my personal life. As an example, instead of trying to get more subscribers on YouTube, my goal is to post one video that I'm truly happy with every week. The results will come with time as the habit compounds. By spending under 10 minutes every day for 30 days, I was able to see an almost 50% increase in my typing speed. While every habit that you try and implement may not have something directly measurable, the impact of doing these small changes every day 100% adds up. If you're interested in trying this challenge for yourself to see if you can get similar results to me, then I've included a spreadsheet in the description below. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to James Clear, the man who wrote Atomic Habits, and I've also got a link to that in the description for you to check out. I can't describe the power that small changes have on your everyday life, but I highly encourage you to try them for yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.